Good afternoon, African Confessions. I am back with another episode, and there is a message that I want to share with you guys. So this message, it is a continuation that comes from a story that I received and I posted it was yesterday. Yes, so one of our admins kept on speaking with our dear sister, the one who said that when she woke up she saw that she was sleeping on top of a grave. Strange things do happen in this world. So the continuation of that conversation goes on like this. Brother Nashi, it is me, that Xhosa lady who wrote to you last week on how I woke up in a graveyard. My brother, I am suffering, and each and every week what happens is that I find myself at the same grave, and the place is in West Park Cemetery, even though at the first time I didn't want you to mention the name and the place, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So what started happening is that I kept on having dreams. Like in my dreams, I'll be trying to run away from someone that will be chasing me, and then I'll see that there will be a gate that would be open. And this gate, the way that I can try to describe it to you, it will be like a gate that will try to tell you that if you enter through this gate, you will go into heaven. So each and every time in my dreams, I would run towards that gate. But immediately that I enter through that gate, then I would find myself in a graveyard. This thing kept on happening until it became reality. I would wake up feeling very cold, and even some sharp stones hitting me on my feet. And when I would look around, I would see that I am actually not in my room anymore, but I am just walking around in the dark. Sometimes I would actually stumble on top of a grave and fall down, and immediately when I would scream and when I'll say ma, then I would wake up. Then I'll see that I would be on my bed, not in that graveyard. So even reality and dreams were now getting connected in such a way that I could not even understand. Now it happens, I do not have a clear way to explain it, because the first time that it happened, I had thought that the man that I had gotten, that man that looked very clean and that one that drove a very nice car, was the one that ended up doing these things to me. And this thing has been happening to me over and over again. It then happened that there was one time when I had gone out clubbing with my friends. When we had gone out clubbing, then there was another guy. This guy, he was someone who was kind of like loving, and he was handsome. So I got attracted to him, and I don't know how he found out, because he just came to the place where I was and he offered to drink with me. So I agreed. We then went and we sat at another table that was a little bit from where my friend was sitting with one of her boyfriend, as well as another guy whom I was supposed to be with throughout the night, but he didn't have a lot of money as compared to that guy whom I was now chilling with. But my brother, I don't know what happened, because after having a few drinks, the guy then invited me at his place. When we went at his place, I saw everything clearly. It was a 2-story building, but everything became blurred. Confusion filled my head. Yes, Ndiapuza Mara, this was not Savannah that was in my head. This was a feeling that had a dark spirit behind. I felt like I wanted to run away, but this guy, the way that he was grabbing me, he was like, come on, let's go inside. So we then went inside, Brother Nashi, and we did what we did, our adult stuff. Then the next morning when I woke up, I saw that I was no longer at that dude's place. I was in a cemetery right on top of the grave. The strange thing that happened, Brother Nashi, is that when I returned back home to my friend and I asked her if she remembered the guy that I was with yesterday, because I wanted to go and confront that guy and ask him why the hell would he have taken me to a grave. Then my friend said that at the time when we were busy drinking our beer, I just got up and I started talking to myself, and they were like wondering what the hell was going on with me, because I was imagining some things as if there was another guy who had came to pick me up from that table where we were sitting. So even that guy who was the friend of her boyfriend said that this one one is crazy. No, I do not want to be with her, because if she can do all of this strange stuff, tomorrow if you sleep with her, you are going inside because of rape. So that guy decided not to follow me. My friend then said that I went and I sat at an empty table, and in the meantime I was lifting up an empty glass bottle as if it was full of alcohol. The next time around, when they looked, they saw that I was no longer there. So they thought that maybe I had gone to the bathroom, or maybe I had just gone out to get some fresh air, because they thought that I was really drunk. So they didn't want to get too much involved. By the time that she wanted to return back home with her boyfriend, she looked for me and she could not find me. She blamed her boyfriend because her boyfriend kept on telling her that they had to leave me behind. Maybe there was another dude whom I was with now. I told her my story and she could not even believe it. My brother, the grave that I woke up lying on top of, it had a name that was written on it. There was even a date of death. As I woke up, I realized that this thing that was happening to me, it was not even normal at all. How did I even get there? And this grave site was in Tsakani. What I remember was that we had gone into a very big house. So was the grave. It was kind of like big, as if it once belonged to someone who had a lot of wealth. Even the tombstone that was there, it was more like a house. I had all my belongings and I woke up and I dusted myself. That was when I returned back home and I spoke with my friend, my brother. When I told my friend this story, she thought that maybe I was losing my mind. She even suggested that I should stop smoking whatever that I was smoking, because ghosts, they do not even exist at all. My brother, I kept on wondering as to what was happening to me. Then the other thing that happened is that I once woke up again. This time around, I was just sleeping by the side of the road. I don't know how I survived throughout the night, because this was like a freeway and I was sleeping right next to the road. It's only that I was in an area whereby there was a lot of tall grass, but if there was someone that was going to pull out of the freeway just for a little bit of a rest, I'm sure that their car was going to drive on top. I'm sure that person was going to drive right on top of me, because I was like sleeping almost 3 meters from the freeway. My brother, when I woke up, I saw that on my left hand I was holding a black wallet, and inside this black wallet there was a lot of cash. So when I woke up by the side of the road, and when I found out that I had a wallet on my left hand, I then said that I'm not going to use this money. But my brother, because of poverty made me to use this money. I sent it to my mom, the money, so that she can take care of my kid. I did a lot of stuff. I once worked at this other place. It is here in Joburg. It goes by the name that is called Diplomat. This hotel, it is near MTN Rank. I once had a room there. I used to sell my body. A lot of men would come, and those men that love strip shows and those men that love just having a good time. Whilst I was staying there, I was actually paying the rent on a weekly basis, but my life was filled with misery at that place, because it is more like Sodom and Gomorrah. Anything that you can think of just happens there. Any type of sin that you can ever imagine, it just happens there. There was even a time when there was another man who came and took me, and I am very suspicious of this man that maybe he was also a ritualist. I'm not sure if this guy, if he was from Nigeria or from Ghana. This man, he took me to his house, and at the end of the night, he paid me 3 times more than the amount that he had promised to pay me. But for a few weeks after I had been hired by this guy, after he had paid me, life for me was really terrible. I felt weak, like on a daily basis. I could struggle to get out of bed because my feet would just feel powerless. And sometimes I would feel as if my soul is leaving my body. I would just say a very small prayer like, "Dear God, please do not let me die, because if I die, what is going to happen to my mom? What is going to happen to my own child? I think that maybe prayer was the thing that kept me alive, because that man, maybe he only wanted me to die, or maybe he wanted to use me for some rituals. Strange things has happened to me. A lot of strange things has happened to me, some things that no one that is normal can ever believe these things. So my friend, the last time that I spoke with her about these issues that I am facing, she said that maybe you have what they call bipolar. But my brother, how can it be bipolar when sometimes when I go to bed and when I woke up, I can actually feel the coldness of the night. When I wake up stumbling on walking across when I woke up, sometimes stumbling, as I will be walking past a lot of graves, seeing that here I am in a graveyard. The moment that I realize that I am in a graveyard, then everything will just disappear. Then I would find myself in my room again. My story, it is very strange, and it is very hard for someone who has never come across this to believe. I do not even believe it myself. Recently, my brother, I have managed to be on antidepressants. Those are the things that are like keeping me alive. As for prayer, with the sins that I have committed, I try to pray just like your regular prayer, but I can't get deep into prayer because of the thoughts that affect me sometimes, of the things that I have done in the past. I have done a lot of terrible stuff at that time when I was working at that hotel. I was made to do some things that I can't even mention here on your platform. So whenever I try to go before God, I just feel that maybe I do not deserve God's forgiveness at all. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a conversation that I had to put together, a conversation that our admin had with our dear sister, who was saying that when she woke up, she found herself sleeping on top of a grave.